alright, higher than the vulture flies. She moves like she's in paradise, can't leave the comfort zone, and I am in the limbo, that's alright, higher than the vulture flies. Just fill me with that alcohol, the time is getting slow. No words convince me, beat that soul, don't ask me what is real. Just fill me with that alcohol, the time is getting slow. No words convince me, beat the soul, don't ask me what is real. Get drunk, live for sunrise in the moonlight, just don't wake me up, we do what we like. Let's funk after midnight, sparking twilight, we just turn it up, wait for new sunrise. Get me some disco music through the night. Here we are dancing in the golden light. Gone crazy, we are running out of time. Fancy dream flying above the city lights.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Archer, and this is more Limbus Company. We had a hiccup. My OBS just crashed, and it closed the stream. So, you're just gonna pick up from there and pretend that this not happened. No, it was not. It was not Project Moon. It was not Limbus. The issue was actually my OBS. So it was my fault. Limbus was all cool. But yeah, guys, just letting people know from people that are just coming in right now, there is another stream that happened that it was abruptly closed. I will link in the description after after a while, so you guys can see the first part of the stream I pulled for the Heisho Honglu, and for a couple of more. So yeah, by all means, do look up on the first VOD for today. Right, we're gonna continue this. We're in the middle of the adventurers of Don Quixote and the great Don Rocinante. Hello, Daniel. Long time no see. You play like 3 levels in the past. Okay, a little more than just 3 levels. By all means, it was like 2 hours of stream. Come on, it's a little more. Okay, indeed, there were too many of them. It was the battle most difficult, just as the villagers had fared. Will this plan succeed, your worship? What better plan does thou suggest, dear Rocinante? Oh well, I don't have a plan or anything. I don't know much about the ways of adventuring as you do, Don Quixote. Also, I am a horse. Kinda. I shall stand as myself, that is manifestly myself, Rocinante. What? I shall stand as myself, that is manifestly myself. That's weird. That is to say, that I stand without fear. This, still, can't you see that we are terribly outnumbered? Know that to back down is not to flee. That one must know when to stop their stride when anger outpaces hope. Hey, I'm mostly here for the Limbus streams. Cause yeah, managing more than one gacha game for me would take too much willpower. Oh, by all means, I just don't remember you coming on the previous stream, but my memory is shitty. But I am just glad to see you. Yeah, this is how the male Uma looks. Gregor Horse ID, please, let's make it happen. Shame, it seems that Rocinante was not as brave as Don Quixote, and not very compliant for a horse, or a pair of running shoes. By on thee, Rocinante. Hold thy tongue! In all the years I have lived and places I have visited, I am yet to know a pair of running shoes that rebellious as thee. Hast thou not spied enough on my courage to find them? Then I, Don Quixote, shall prove it to thee this instant, Rocinante. Thus I, Don Quixote, leapt to the fray like the which hath not been seen before or thereafter. Flee not, ye devious caitiffs! Shouting so, I stabbed and stabbed and stabbed with all my strength behind the lens. Choo choo, choo is the ego. Yeah, I wasn't there because the stream didn't get recommended, sadly. Wait, did you not gather it like the notification? I'm sorry. But yeah, we're just continuing this, and yeah, we still have yet to see the best parts. I'm gonna grab more water, guys, as the autoplay is going. I'll be right back.
저분은 어디 아프신 걸까요? 아까랑 다르게 기운이 없어 보여요.
Yo, I'm back. Sorry, just getting some water. Gotta hydrate. A lot of dialogue. So much reading, indeed. Alright, I should put notifications on. I love these parts. Well, if you can, by all means, I recommend. Or join the Discord. I post in there and I tag everyone every time that I come alive. Also, yeah, I'm thinking. No, I don't think I need to post this other stream. I already posted the first one. People already know that I'm streaming by now, so they will figure out if they just go on YouTube. But yeah, I usually always post first thing whenever I start streaming, on the Discord. So by all means, if anybody here, by the way, is not on the Discord or it's new here, we have a Discord that we talk and we post and we have fun, and usually announce every day whenever I am live on the Discord. So if you want to join us, the link is on the description. Funny how it is technically possible to lose the fight against these cardboard, right? Even though it's a make-believe story, we might still lose. Not that I think we will. But no, it can happen. During this quarter, you're gonna get slimed. I don't know, man. That sounds like a reason for me to not join the Discord then. I like slime. Join the Discord or you get the Yuri treatment. I don't know, man. Some people would like to be eaten by me. Not that I do that. Guys, I am not the same apple that ate Yuri. Okay? We're different. I am far off on the spectrum. What? He did. Changya! Arthur would 100% like the Yuri treatment. Guys. Crazy. Crazy. Shh, not again. Not this. You guys make all the apples seem like I am a golden apple. Call me the apple of Eden. Eden. The goddess of the apples. Call me Wilhelm Tell. The guy that shoots arrows and apples. Does Onglu knows how he's alive?
결과적으로 도적들은 전멸하였고
That's a good question.
평화를 되찾았다네.
Eventually, I managed to wholly purge the village of bandits and return the peace to where it belongs.
돈키호테님,
Oh, Don Quixote,
저희 마을을
your
지켜주셔서
worship,
너무나
I thank you for
감사해요.
protecting our village.
은혜를 어떻게
How may we
갚아요?
repay this great favor?
마을 사람들은
The villagers spoke of the rewards for this brave adventure.
당연한 일이었죠.
Of course, they did. Expecting a reward for a job done well was the most natural thing indeed. After all, who would do such a difficult work for no pay?
근육치 마시게나.
No need, my good lady. There is no need at all. I've merely done my duty as a righteous fixer.
아니,
Am I? For truth? You helped us for free? Without expecting any compensation?
정말? 그럼.
Forsooth, that is.
원래 그런 것일세.
It's the duty of a fixer. And yet, if thou truly wish to help, then I would have ought to ask thee. Of course, anything for you, brave adventurer. That is, does not have any import, of course. There's, huh? But how could we repay you? We don't have much money. Your running shoes look like they could fetch a nice price.
무슨 소리예요?
Fie on thee.
돈을 받고
Doth
의뢰를
not
하지
dole
않으면
out justice based on promise of a capital.
그래도
Still, if you truly wish to help, then... Memory, was that Don Quixote?
이런
Oh,
무대가
can't have that silence on the stage. Let's keep things moving and head on to the next tale, shall we? Next tale? Damn, how many are we gonna go through? Rodeo and my queen? Shh, don't spoil. The random peasant was wearing a choker. I mean, is the random peasant, you know,
승리의 보람과
just into something
다음에 대해 들어본 적 있는가?
of the adventure to lay claim upon the helm of membrane and the roles they are given.
알고 침식도 양호.
Amato? Episode 3, what I in which is recount the matter of Don Quixote in the helmet.
돈키호테의 몸은
Thus continues the adventures of Don Quixote. That relic or whatever it isn't even real? What if those bastards were lying to us?
그럴 리는 없다.
Nay, such cannot be true, for they would not lie to their very deliverer. I am certain the relic is near.
뭔가를
The pair are clearly searching for something, but pray,
과연 이들이
what might that be?
지나가는 나그네여.
I beseech thee, fellow traveler of the road, dost thou know aught about the local of tale of a noble and a knightly helm of absolutely and incandescently resplendent membrano? If you're looking for that incan whatever helmet, you might wanna go up that little hill over yonder, walk along the trail the way into the cave, and keep going deeper till you find the helmet. At least, that was what folks say to you, my lord.
잘 되었군.
Very well, then I shall march to the cave post haste.
그렇게 나는
Thus, Rocinante and I journeyed to the cave in search of the legendary helm. It wasn't easy, forsooth. One of the trials that which dared to stand in our path was a big, scary bear. So cute. Okay, this is pretty adorable. I'm gonna take a print screen of this. Behold, dear Rocinante, the creature there must be the man-eating bear, the tales of which we've heard so much of.
야,
Oi,
나 이거
how long I'm gonna be in this getup? It's pissing me off.
아니
Listen, you saw it. It's.
보입니다.
I am beholding it. that one conversation between Horace Gregor and Bear Heathcliff. You can handle it, right? Like you always do.
물론
Really. Our mere piss such as that bear shan't match our strength. Heathcliff is a furry. There's no other way telling me otherwise. We need furry Heathcliff ID. Damn. I mean, we need both Horace and Heathcliff. Oh, so cute.
전쟁에 나서는 건 아니지만
That's adorable.
저희를 이끌어주는 건
만만찮겠군.
갈등만 할 수 있는 일이에요.
하지.
이번에도 분명 원하시는 길로 저희를 잘 이끌어 주시겠죠?
Clip Archer trying to go. Okay, that
정의.
I am sorry that sounded a little wonky. At least I tried better than Heathcliff trying to go gudu gudu.
즐거움 언제나
먼지를
순탄치 않고
떨어내줘.
때로는 어설펐지만 여러분과 함께하는 여행은 늘 제 마음을 설레게 만들었답니다.
퉁,
여기서 멈추고 싶지
퉁.
않아요.
Get out of my head.
차라리 아무것도 남지 마라.
아,
You know that this apple is like a little bit of a druid. So I have a certain connection to the bears.
편히 쉬시게.
If you know what I mean, wink wink. Sorry. like, no denying, Heathcliff is a furry
사소한
and has drawn
일이지만
furry art in his room before.
모두가 노력한 덕분에
I mean, you're
일찍 끝난
into something, you're in it. You know something that we don't. And it's done. Maybe that's why Catherine. You know.
그렇게 우리는
Catherine who? Yes.
전설의 맘브리노 투구를 얻는데
Thus, we vanquished the bear and claimed the fabled helm of Membrino ours. Really? A bear?
그런 거 마음만 먹으면
Can I obliterate the poor animal in less than 3?
그렇게 시시하게
Oh,
끝내는
please.
것보다는
Where is the fun in that? We shall battle this fell beast like from the books.
책에서 나온 것처럼 그런 거 있지 않느냐?
투구?
Helm?
진짜로
Do you think the stories are actual adventures of Don Quixote? It's Don Quixote. And once have we truly given you a chance to regale us with your tales of adventure?
보통
Huh,
이런
she
희귀
usually
소설의
only
모험가의
talked about
이야기를
adventures of
썼어요.
other fixers.
아니면
Or she would persistently nag us about our own adventures. I'm not sure. Let's keep listening. Everybody's is learning who Don Quixote is. It's pretty fun. Gregor has the persona of a roach and a persona of a horse. And a persona of a roach horse.
승리의 보람과 세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가?
I am gonna be the one, since nobody's gonna be the one.
지금 우리가 보는
One of Gregor's persona is actually a lady, and the horse persona and the roach persona had a baby, and that is roach horse Gregor, is the little kid. Now think about Pragreg. Of the very nice discussion that was between the manager and the magician. Fair enough, Platinum Rover has a point.
어떻게 된 거야?
Oh, what just happened?
나도
You
모르게
just
머릿속에서
started saying the lines like I've known them by heart. Yeah, like we're almost hypnotized by something, and it felt so real as though we were really there. I know this sounds absurd, but I clearly remember transforming to a horse, then a pair of running shoes somehow. But it was myself up here. Strange.
자,
Ah, how wonderful was the story, huh?
그렇지 않나요?
I like this one much more than the juvenile, naive story of peace and happiness between humans and blood fiends that this place has to tell.
마음에 드네.
Is this the origin of that I have to your baby Gregor gift? Yes. Pray tell, Archer, Why must thou conceive an idea most certainly not truly ingenious? I mean, it's just bound to be.
그런데 그
So,
두부는 지금
where
어디
did you
있지?
place that precious helm? If I had such a priceless artifact myself, I'll be wearing it on my head every single day. Is the helmet something real and something is trying to get the information out of us? Because that would be a most ingenious idea.
안타깝지만
Tragically, the helm ill-fit my head. I had no choice but to live in the mine warehouse. No, she said the place.
아마
Most likely.
저런.
Shame, shame. Why did you not keep a close eye on something so important? Something you had to go through so much to claim?
언젠가
You might regret that the want of it someday.
그 다음 이야기에
As much as I would like to hear what comes next,
이쯤에서 잠깐
this seems to be where I bid you all adieu. So, my guess here. Sanson played the story because he wanted to know where the helmet is. And because Don Quixote was the person that hid the helmet, he wanted to do the whole make-believe to get the information out of her. And now he just got the information, technically, so he probably is gonna go hop into trying to find the helmet for himself. So the actual helmet exists. Hello, Maid Shu. I love Maid. I see. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Hello, first boy's idea obtained. Maid Shu, welcome again.
약속대로
I will open the entrance to Area 2 as promised. I'm sure there aren't any other blood fiends who are as honest about their promises as I am.
이
Wicked blood fiend.
혈
How dare! Don Quixote's rage resumed just as the story ended, but she was still stuck in place as though the tail hadn't left her body just yet.
기대되네요.
How exciting.
과연
What details shall greet you in the next area, I wonder?
여러분을 기다리고 있을까요? 자, 그럼
Well then, I hope you enjoy La Mancha Land next area, oh righteous adventurer of justice, Don Quixote.
Don Quixote.
Wait, was that... It wasn't a golden bow resonance, was it? Felt slightly different. I have no idea what he did to us, but we were all helplessly frozen in place, as if we were all collectively hypnotized.
이성씨 때랑은
Wasn't like this was, this when we enter Isang's Fathoms, right? Oh, quite. We could tell, we could then well tell what it was merely a reenactment of a tale with a pre-written script we read out of our own volition.
저 혈기만
Maybe it was something to do with the Blood Fiend's special ability?
라만차랜드 내부의 황금가지
Maybe that he took advantage of La Mancha Land's golden bow resonating with a certain sinner among us, and inserted his own power there to cause this phenomenon. We should probably steer clear of the Blood Fiend. Huh. Faust. The king continued the story. We shouldn't. I didn't have the courage to tell them that I've been thinking this whole time. The Don Quixote, the hero of the story, in which she vanquished the bandits and protected the innocent village. That Don Quixote whose eyes twinkled with sheer excitement and the thought of taking down La Mancha Land, will eventually be forced to spill before will eventually be forced to spill before every sinner. She is a second kindred, Blood Fiend.
하지만
However, Dante,
혈기는
the Blood Fiend hath given us the slip.
하지만
Alas, we have to deal a fatal blow against one of them, and manage to deactivate the device we have intended to access. This is a very successful mission thus far, I say. She was back to her usual energetic self.
언젠간
There comes a time where one must awaken from their dream. The false answer seemed to be pointing towards something else. Once the button was pressed, a low rumble emanated from around us, and a large passageway slowly emerged before us, like gargantuan parts of a great machine ponderously clicking into place. Oh, let us hasten to the subsequent canto of this epic. Okay, can I spoil Canto 40? I'd rather not. Secret John translates How to Dante again, forgot. Ahmed Dashi. Hello. Read the up to 3 story of Chichen Ismail. Whenever I get that ID, sure, I'll do that. I wonder if blood fiends could be fed with pure. Okay. Hey, Berg! Why do you ask such questions? Let them. Uh, let's pretend we didn't read, guys. When the sinners each share their impressions of the haunted mansion. Damn it, Platinum Rover, come on. Nate, he's me not. Just me not as though my venture is one of her foes. I have already explained that you do not know of true adventure. We shall soon walk a path of suffering, its intensity unprecedented and monumental. Do you not see the grand gate of adventure risen, unlatched before us? Thus, silence your prattling and resume the preparations. Let us leave post haste. Answer me, Apple, what does Peak need? A download? It's a pretty popular game. I think it's 50% off on Steam right now if you go there. There's some Discord quests you can do. Have fun. If that's what you're looking for, of course. This is quite odd, however. Since when was Roshinante given the gift of speech? While we had our reservations, we took the path Sansom opened for us and made it to the next area. I'm worried about Sitchin and the other fixers. They were assigned area 2, right? I hope they're alright. Hello, person with a very complicated name for me to pronounce. Welcome. Peak requires one to conceive an idea most ingenious, a dream of such ambition, and the wish to bring it together, like a 50% off game on Steam called Peak. That you guys can get it right now. Apparently it's very fun. Chichiano would be okay, I'm sure. Oh, that reminds me. I have a funny family in-joke to share. Oh, let's hear it. It goes like this. Any of our siblings who manage to survive on their own up to the age of 13 in our household will probably be okay even if they were to be tossed out in the middle of the outskirts. Okay, we should hurry. I bet Area 2 is just as bad, if not worse than Area 1. If something bad were to happen to your sister in front of your eyes, then I will gather the remains and lay them into their final resting place when I return home, whenever they may be. Whenever that may be. Just literally next canto. Suchun would have done the same for me. Yep. Anyways, well, this place is a bit drafty, fellas. This place feels very different from Area 1. I like that we completely skipped call me boy or Svetlana because my name is Russian. Okay, Svetlana. Welcome. I'm in-depth archer help. Well, I'm also in debt. So we're both in the same boat here, Doctor. Dumb Quixote. This place feels very different from Area 1. Unlike Area 1, which was extremely gaudy and overly decorated, this place is steaming with ominous, depressing silence. Yeah, this place is, how should I put it, is eerily quiet, almost spooky even. Well, I hope this is a good kind of quiet. You know, want us to be quiet down here because of the fixers who made it here first already took out all the blood fiends. It is pretty suffocating to just sit here not knowing who won the fight, or if there even was a fight. Let's try not to get added to the wall of missing person posters. How much time do we have until La Mancha Land closes?
5시간가량
5 hours by my estimation.
좋아, 좋아.
Nice,
이
nice.
정도면
I say
순탄하네.
we're moving at a decent pace.
설마
Hey,
우리가 제일
what
빨리
if we're the
탈출할
first group to
거라는 거
manage to activate their ARIA device?
아니야? 비록 이탈자는
Well, we did suffer some losses. Well, not that we care about who we lose.
이탈자.
Losses? I believe we're only pruned a traitor in our midst.
하나 신경 쓰이지 않을
Yeah,
수가 없고
I was still ill in the back of my mind.
우리가 1구역을
It was not as though we passed the first area by our own will and effort. It was the command of the man in his magician outfit by which we were made to pass through.
뭐
Well,
좀 특이한
he was a pretty
현상이었어.
weird blood fiend.
맞아요.
Right, I couldn't quite tell what it was. There was something familiar about him.
그랬나?
Something familiar?
약간
My
예술
did he
같다는
seem
점이
kinda
비슷하지
similar to
않나?
Ryoshu in that artsy-fartsy way? Ryoshu quietly let out a cloud of smoke. It briefly lingered midair before turning into a bizarre shape. That's cute. Is that a cat-shaped plume? Oh, it's you, weeping and sniveling. An expression of consequences should you mistranslate me in the future. Huh? This place is pretty neat. I still love the back and forth that Ryoshu has with Sinclair. Oh, what is it? Look here, on the map. They have an infirmary. Guests injured on a ride, guests who are needed a moment to calm down, or any blood fiends who are in urgent need of blood, you can find help here. Huh. It ain't that awfully nice of them.
라만철랜드는
They said La Mancha Land was intended to be where the blood fiends and humans can peaceably happily coexist.
이 지도 설명만
Maybe, a long time ago, it really did work for a while, at least according to the descriptions on this map.
되었을지도 모르겠다는 생각이 드네요.
그게 무슨 소리야?
Nonsense!
제대로 되어
Should be an
있는
impossible test, most evidently.
이런 건
An adventure such as this cannot possibly exist in any tale of Don Quixote. A place to coexist with villains? Pah! Absurd! Huh. This subject doth remind me of the case of Lord Siegfried had once resolved. A battle atop of a rage it was. Back then, the villain suggests a compromise most devious, not unlike the one suggested by the wicked ones who inhabit this place. They sought to seduce him with a promise of riches and power, to have him stand with them. Yet Lord Siegfried refused to bend his knee. He answered their suggestion with but a mighty sucking against the villain's jaw. Oh, that 1 hour edit of the battle, wasn't it pretty obvious that it was staged? And declared thusly, "Thou shalt make a purchase product that I, Siegfried, with thy contemplative money. Contemptible money, sorry. And fired off his super special laser beam cannon at the villain's. Attention, man. And crazy girl. A timely intervention from Altus put a stop to Don Quixote's story. There are remains of blood bags strewn about in close proximity to this attraction. It is called, let's see, Haunted Bloody Mary. Ah, this is one of those haunted mansion attractions. Hey, Sinclair, do you think these haunted mansions have actual... Stop right there. Hey, my parents took me to an amusement park too, okay? So don't think you can use this to tease me or scare me like... It was a genuine question. I've never been to an amusement park, you know? I'm sorry. Hey, don't you worry about it. So, do this place actually have ghosts or not? I'm fairly sure they have some pretty cheap looking animatronics or mannequins at worst. As attractions of that category often admit guests of all ages, including children, they do not place real paranatural entities with such ghosts inside them. However, they often install various tools and visual effects to stimulate fear responses in their guests. Yeah, these are usually family attractions. Where is your family? Your siblings? I never had anyone. Not even on the day I was born. I've only known the cold and loneliness. Then, let me grant you the will to live.
너에게 영원히 함께.
The family I shall grant you will forever be by your side. Come with me. Neat. Let me read the chat. The chat's going crazy. So much. Okay. Okay. The spider red. Platinum was from me. Apple does speak need. I responded that. And okay. Okay. I'm okay. Okay. Here. Guys, do you ever feel like Kanto 1, the outcast? Like everyone is just so. Okay. Guys, do you ever feel like a Kanto 1, the outcast? Like everyone is just so Kanto 2, the unloving, and Kanto 3, the uncomforting? Like everything is Kanto 4, the unchanging? Indeed, I kinda can agree with you, Nelly. Archer, what ego would you have? Uh, what ego would I have? That's a good question. I would call it the orchard of a golden apple. Or the garden of the primordial apple. You take it. I didn't understand. Archer has the apple ego, like I just said. Pray tell, has thou done the L Corp before? Does have like are you asking if I played Limbus Company? Because if that's the question, no, I have never played Limbus Company. I'm playing Library of Ruina though. I'm gonna be playing tomorrow. If people want to tune in, I'm still going through the game story. Fairly early in the game. I have just defeated Queen of Hatred on my prior stream. 50 doctors get summoned in front of Archer, then start running away from him into the target because one apple a day keeps the doctor away. Indeed, London Rover knows what it is. Supervisor Joa. Yes. My name is Quixote, and I, Don Quixote, have diarrhea. Sure. Oh no, also, Millie's song at the end of this canto is so worth it. Nice. Golden what now? So, it would be the Golden Orchard, or the Apple of the Golden Orchard, or the Primordial Apple, or the Guardian of the Primordial Apple. Those would be my egos. In which is recounted the sinner's adventures in the encounters with the haunted Bloody Mary, the nature of which is unclear whether it's a haunted mansion or a blood fiend's den.
여기는 순록 선멸지역 진입했어요.
But yes, you know, I have two ideas behind it, which is the golden apple being held by the goddess Idun, or the primordial apple that was beaten by that bitch. It was called Eve. Murray, chat, is this Kanto 1? Why is there apple on the screen? No, this is not Kanto 1, and no, I am not related to the apple from Kanto 1. I repeat, I have no relations with the apple of Kanto 1. I am, and people should know this, the primordial apple, the one you could find in the garden, the one that there's no other name besides the garden. And I will not eat you. Actually, I was given sentience after someone tried to eat me. So I know how others feel. But welcome, Mori. It's been so long since I visited one of these haunted mansions. The last time I was a place like this, I thought when the next time came I'd be here with my family again. Not all on my own like this. Well, you're not all on your own. You have another like 12 sinners. Come on. All on your own? Come on, Kido. You're here with your coworkers. Coworkers who are kinda like family, innit? Aww. Look at Heathcliff. That's cute. Aw. Enough chit-chat. Everyone, direct your attention to the floor. There's something here. Yes. There are numerous signs of battle, just as I expected. Stench, miasma of rot fills my lungs. Has been some time since the battle took place. Nobody here appears to be a fixer who participated in our ongoing mission. Or maybe they've all been turned into blood bags and were stumbling through the haunted mansion, but it's probably better not to share the kind of thought here. There's blood everywhere. Well, technically everything is made out of blood. Welcome you all with all my heart, dear guests, to Haunted Bloody Mary. The portrait from which the voice was echoing from was torn in half. From what we could deduce from the remaining part of the portrait, it was likely a depiction of the king of this castle, or at least that was a story I tried to convey. It's all turned up.
다 망가져 있네요.
찢어진 형태로 보아
It can be extrapolated from the torn patterns that it was intended to be displayed in its current tattered form. You find yourselves in the castle of an ancient, one prosperous kingdom that was long falling to ruin. Now, you must explore every corner of this derelict castle to unveil the true secrets of the old kingdom. Please, know that there are several installations which explain the purpose of inducing fear. If you have a heart condition or cannot handle horror very well, please reconsider partaking in this expedition. So he says, well, verily, I have no such fear in my heart. Those così soltanto, Don Quixote. Can you let go of my arm, please? Huh? Sancho, your grace. If you have something you would like to tell me, please, come closer and... I missed a line, you say? What? Ah, I see. Let the fire of courage light your way in this adventure of cold, bone-chilling fear.
여기부터 시작인
The tour must start somewhere around here. The mirror's gotta be where the blood fiends used to hide to shock their guests. And look, that ceiling panel slightly ajar? That's probably where... Ugh! I hate smarters that can keep their mouths shut. Stop explaining things. Okay, that was kind of scary. Oh, bloody hell! She was right. Don't you understand that the real fun of the Haunted Bloody Mary is walking into his care, knowing that's going to happen? Why can't you just be a good guest? Sorry, I'm just not that nice. We were just going to let you through, but you're really getting on my nerves. And here it is, Ismael destroying the fun of other people again. Marcel, I love her so. Oh, it's probably the part with Booth. Scared Donnie as it is. Being chilling. I mean, and I appreciate that Sancho was like, hey, you missed that one line that's really not that important, but go ahead and say it. Come on, Ismael. I'll say, come on, Ismael. At all. That's just how she is. You know, I'd rather Ismael being this negative one than being fake positive. Or the quiet Ismael from her Canto. That's terrible. The man's like, I don't get paid enough for this. Right? The guy has to be... The guy needs to be hiding in a haunted mansion that appears every so and then to someone to come and spoil this scare. That's not fun. It's like people coming on my stream spoiling me about the game that I'm literally playing right now. It's like, why would I want to know what's gonna be happening on the end of Canto 7, motherfucker? I'm playing right now. I'm sorry. It was just a very nice way of me putting it. Guys, what if we become blood fiends and we... I mean, blood fiends doesn't seem too bad. Blood bags? Nope, I'll pass. But blood fiends? That can happen. I don't mind. But, you know, a vampire apple might be a little too gimmicky. So this thing happens in Canto 7. Also, this and some of this you know, yeah. Fun fact, they play Limbus because of Compass. Worth it. You play Limbus because of Compass. Should I understand what that is? Can you elaborate further what is Compass?
이 풍진 세상에서 힘껏 살아가느라 수고 많으셨어요.
사랑으로.
이제 모든 짐 놓으셨으니
짠.
그 끝에 고요한 휴식이 있기를.
Whenever I think about Compass and Limbus Company, I just think about that one ego gift from the Mirror Dungeon for sinking. Compass is song name in Canto 5 ending. That's the name of the Canto 5 song? I didn't know. Nice! I don't know if I don't think I cared too much about that one song.
움직임이 멈췄는데 괜찮으신가요? 단테님, 아무래도 의식을 잃으신 것 같아요.
Compass song playing Canto 5, which I'm sure you played before we met. Yes, I played it. I played it, yes. Sorry, I just was not why you did not care? It's Speak. Well, I think from all the melee songs that I've heard on the game, it just didn't, you know, hit the same way that some other ones did, I guess. Not that it was bad by any means. It's just not the as memorable for me to even remember it. Like my favorite ones are on my playlist. Which is the Canto 3 one and the Canto 4 one. There are also some OSTs that I enjoy from some of the battles. And I think there's one that I'm missing there to put in. Like Bad Apple for real. He lied, he is Canto 1's evil apple. Win rate, indeed. Wherein to this is discussed the blood fiends in hiding and the fixers who arrived first. Also, I will level up soon. Nice. Right then. Was that the last of the blood fiends here? Huh. That's a victory of our favor. No, there's more. Trembling rats inside that coffin. They lack even a morsel of shame. Damn stream was so laggy it was behind by a bit. It happens. Some people will be lagging by a bit. There is a delay between me and what you guys receive. Hope you use Honglu's S2 while at 5.9 charge. I have been using so far because I don't mind it too much. It's not too terrible. Like whenever I am doing like a boss fight, I will pay attention enough to not use the S2 whenever I don't have 10 charges. But you know, I'm just finding waves of enemies, so by all means, what is a little bit of sinking? We opened the coffin Ryosha singled out. Ugh, holy shit! And several blood fiends came tumbling out. Looks so stalking. Ryosha, can you see through walls by any chance? I only smell their dirty cowardice. Moisturize my insides. Benito is using the skill which is the stream restarted. I will drink again. Thank you so much, Benito. Ah, nice. Did they leave? Exactly what you read. I moisturize my insides. The process to which, because you know I am an apple and I need to be moistured inside. Now, the way that the moisture is gonna come in, that's up to your imagination. Did they just leave?
누구를 말하는
Who do you mean by they? The monster who came out to hunt us. Those bastards going around smashing your rides and attractions.
아,
Oh,
누구인지
I think I know who you're talking about.
그분들은
Did they make it
무사히
safely past this attraction? Probably.
제대로 보지
You
못한
didn't
건
get a good look at them?
어쩔 수
We had no
없었어.
choice. Our roles were to jump out and scare people during the banquet with the blood fiend scene, but we stayed put in here because they were even scarier. The visitors used to scream and run when we jump out of these coffins. They really loved it. We even took pictures with them once they were done with the attractions. Aw, they're so adorable. Aw, now I'm sad to be killing these guys. Hey guys, wanna know something cool? We're running an event where we'll take a free commemorative picture with you for only 500 milliliters of blood. How's that? How's that? Don't wanna leave a picture of the spooky experience? Ah, I'll give just 400 milliliters? Damn, that's a bargain. 400 milliliters is nothing, right? It's just a little trickle of blood with no danger to your health. I even heard that you humans have to draw blood once in a while anyways to renew your blood supply and keep things fresh and healthy. You all want to live long, healthy lives, don't you? I bet you do. Now, he's probably talking about bloodletting. Bloodletting is actually So, whenever we didn't know how to use medicine, this is knowledge of the real world, guys. Pay attention. Whenever, especially, I think bloodletting was very famous on very like Asian countries, but basically it would cut someone's blood and let the impurities come out of it. Cut someone's like a body and let the impurities flow out through the blood, just so we can recycle that blood, producing more blood, and kind of, you know, clean our bodies. So bloodletting was actually a medicinal method of healing people. Not used very much nowadays because of how barbaric it is, and there's no need for that. But back in the day, it was a thing. How much is 500 milliliters? 500 milliliters would be, you know, if I'm not mistaken, a Coca can has around 350. Let me check. Okay, a normal ball, the chunkier Coca-Cola can usually has, yeah, 350. So this is 50 milliliters more than a can of Coke. So these guys are gonna be drinking a can of Coke and a little more out of blood. You know, enough to refresh you. Like half a liter. How much bleed does your apple self have, Archer? I am totally not a blood fiend. I haven't been attacked in such a long time that I don't even know what it is. I don't think it's blood, for sure. But I'm not really sure what's inside, now that you're mentioning. But it just goes to show you how powerful I am. Nobody was able to hurt me in such a long time. Leech were used for health purposes too. Yes, indeed. Leeches were used for basically the same reason, actually. Sucking out bad blood, and so you could produce more. Leeches were actually easier than the bloodletting, because bloodletting makes you so you need to actually cut someone's body, and you need to patch it up. You know, the actual cut. Leeches actually have an enzyme on their mouths that don't let you like bleed out. So you can put a leech in there, they will suck enough blood, you can remove the leech, and it's gonna be all fine. You just need to maybe put something on top so it's not like an open wound, but you're not gonna be gushing out of blood. And also there is very like safe ways to remove leeches. Usually fire. If I'm not mistaken, if you get like a little piece of fire, like a torch or like a candle, close to the leech, they will just, you know, stop leeching and fall off. Okay. Mate, you serious? Uh, no, I'm sorry. I won't drink your blood. Not even a drop. I didn't want to be part of that plan anyway. I just wanted to get out of here. That reminds me. I wonder what happened to the ones who managed to escape. I should have run away too when I had the chance. It's likely that he's referring to Cassetti. Right! So Cassetti is one of the people that were working here? Damn, so we were just like a nobody playing on the haunted house. Gotta go, Apple. I'm sleepy. Maybe I'll catch you when I wake up. No problem, Syntax. I know it's already very late for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Just if you're still here, my plan is I will play for another 2 hours, and I will be stopping the stream because I need to do stuff today, and then we'll be resuming the stream in probably 6 to 7 hours afterwards to finish this by the nighttime. My nighttime might not be your nighttime. Can we see each other Twitch chat? Yes, if someone sends a message on Twitch, you can also see on the screen. If you're not seeing anything, it just means there's nobody talking over on Twitch, sadly. Yeah, actually, whenever it comes to Limbus Company, most of my viewers are on YouTube. There is just 1 or 2 that come from Twitch. But would outside be any better? How will I live on? Hiding in sewers like rats? Hiding from humans? I don't want that life. No. But this place is also just so... we're cornered. There's nowhere... No, there's nothing we can do. We have no options left. It's either die or live in a life worse than dying. This accursed La Mancha land. Damn, okay. I'm actually getting a little bit sad for these guys. Clearly most of the Blood Fiends working here don't also want to be here. My guess, and that with my knowledge of Don Quixote's lore, Sancho is the person running this whole amusement park, and he wants to play make-believe. And since Sancho probably is a higher kindred than the other Blood Fiends, everybody just has to do his bidding because he's stronger than everyone else. So they need to keep playing this make-believe because Sancho wants them to do it, but I believe most of them wouldn't want that too much. Clearly they are not even accustomed to their scripts, since Sancho needs to keep reminding them they need to say the proper lines. Let me see what you guys are saying. Per Bleffing's traumatized, yeah. By the way, Cassetti is probably around same strength as those commoners. Yeah, that's what I've been... Well, I think Cassetti, whenever we found him on the warp train, was slightly stronger, because he had taken way more blood from the people from the warp train. So I believe he was much stronger than these guys that we're finding here. But in the beginning, yeah, he would probably be the same level of power. They appear to be weak currently because that's what I'm saying. They probably started at the same place. It's just that Cassetti ended up feeding on the people on the warp train, so he got stronger. Maybe not. I shouldn't tell you. Okay. Next theory, refrain from developing it further though. Okay. Again, I love to create theories. This is one of my favorite things on the stream. So, since I am doing this thing blind, like playing the game, I like to pick as much information that the game gives me and theorize on top of it. Like last stream, whenever we're doing Warp Train, I was theorizing that False is actually a homunculus that was created artificially. That's my gist.
저분은 어디 아프신 걸까요? 아까랑 다르게 기운이 없어 보여요.
정확하게. 이유! 사랑으로 정의 이름으로 이웃차 악은 이렇게
다들
Sure.
첫 여정을 시작했을
That's interesting. Yeah,
정말
yeah.
강해지셨네요.
Syntax mentioned that my theory about False is a little different than most of other people's theories about who she is, but I will stick with it until we see it. This is not the concept in scenario theories. I don't know. I don't think I've heard that one. Like one tuber I know really likes to make. Oh, okay. I know. I think my theory just comes from some stuff that I realize. Some of the artificial stuff that I seen from False. One thing that Syntax mentioned that actually helped is that False symbol as a sinner is a little like alchemic tube or like those like glass bulbs that you put like chemical stuff inside. So that's what I think she was made, but like she was chemically made like in a homunculus, maybe to access the False Discord server. That's my guess. She was artificially made to access this Discord server, using using the brain, so she could be controlled. You know, that's my gist. She was created. The body was created, and the brain was put in the body, maybe, or in a way that she could connect with the Discord of all the other Fausts. Also, that also keeps me in mind, like whenever she first got into the warp train and her connection to the Discord was cut off, she was actually happy that she realized that she was actually being able to learn more. So it's like she probably feels like she has to rely on the Discord, and she's finally like feel like she is a hollow thing that always need to rely on the Discord, but she's happy to realize that she can actually function without it, because she was showing emotions, something that she false usually don't whenever she's actually connected to the Discord, because I feel like that's her job. Once she's connected to the Discord, she needs to act like this very dry, very bland, emotionless character. But once she's not connected, she can just be the False that she wanted to be, but she's not allowed to. False knows outcomes, yes. Or at least all the outcomes that the other False will let her know. Because we are now aware that some of the False will withhold information from our False, kind of like trying to prank her. So I feel like almost my feel really, because the way the False says is almost like some other False like to conspire against her. That's why also helps me on my theory that she is not originally a False. She is more of an artificial False, because I feel like a lot of times the False like to play with her and not give her the full TLDR of everything. Or maybe just a couple of Falses. Here is a recounted of the tale of the forlorn king and the family that was once happy. Yeah, it might not be just every False, because I don't want to peg to every single False, but I feel like there are at least one or two False for sure that likes to not give the full information to her. Congratulations, oh brave adventurers. You have uncovered every secret of the kingdom. It is time I let you leave. Should you face such terrors in the world beyond, remember your bravery here and triumph over them as you have today. And now, please, give a warm welcome to the blood fiends of the attraction Haunted Blood Mary. They'll be here for the spooky scary photo shoot with the Blood Fiends. Okay. I will keep saying, I find this photo shoot with the Blood Fiends so endearing. Because they don't have to do it. Well, technically they have to. But, you know, sounds very cute. The one in the team and the one which holds all the info and does the main thinking. That was my gist. That the one in our team relays the information, but there is a brain that gets the information. So I was thinking that might be a brain separated that is like an intermediary between the Falsts, between our Falst and the Discord channel. That's part of my theory of why this Falst is a homunculi. Because this Falst does not have the my guess is that she does not have the natural Falst brain, or it does not work as other Falsts work. Other Falsts need to just think to access the Discord. I feel like all ours use an intermediary, you know? That's why she can easily be cut out from the Discord. And the narration just stops here, huh? Well, we already took care of the Blood Fiends who were supposed to show up on cue, so yeah, makes sense. He would have G-U-H. He would have graced us himself, she says. What a misfortune. Every clue that may have shed light on the secrets of this tragic kingdom's history has all been pulverized by the guests who passed through before you. And we have the blue man again. Didn't this part just change? It wasn't just the radio quality this time, right? This is the voice of Sensen. Ooh, nice. And our dear Blood Fiend actors have put so much effort into giving you a good surprise, have all disappeared as well. Well, her connection was cut, but still, whenever she entered the Mephistopheles, the connection was reconnected. Even though technically the Mephistopheles was still in the warp train. So probably something to do with the Mephistopheles itself. So my guess, whenever I was saying that there is an intermediary of informations, I feel that the intermediary might be related to the Mephistopheles. That's why she regained the connection whenever she got in there, even though she was still technically inside the warp train. Because probably the Mephistopheles itself may link directly to where she's getting the information. Yeah, no, that could be also a thing. That could be also a thing. My guess is, like, maybe the intermediary might be existing in one of the rooms of the Mephistopheles. That was my gist. But your is as good as mine. And our dear Blood Fiend actors who have put so much effort into giving you a good surprise have all disappeared as well. We have brought righteous judgment upon those evil wretches. Even a gentleman responsible for that narration. Well, perhaps in the place of photo shoot, we could slot a brief explanation about the secret of this kingdom. With the exception of my thing is not a theory, it's a fact. I don't know. That probably is one of Dante's notes. I haven't actually, by the way, read Dante's notes. I think a lot of my questions would have been solved and I could hone in a lot of my theories whenever I read those. Have you perhaps skipped Miracle in District 20? Your Miracle in District 20. Which one is that one? I've done every single intervallo and mini that it was available to me. But I might not remember them saying that Mephistopheles it's like a pocket dimension kind of situation. Miracle in District 20 is the Christmas one? Yeah, I think you mentioned the Christmas one, right? Where they go to the outskirts because Don Quixote wants to get some outfits to make Heathcliff looks good. Yeah. Yeah, I think you mentioned that whenever you're talking, but I just wanted to be sure. Yeah, with the gnomes. I don't remember them mentioning this exact information you're talking about. I know that they spoke about the nature of the Mephistopheles a little more on that intervalo, but I don't remember that one about like being like a black hole of sorts. But you might be right. Okay, well, perhaps in place of a photo shoot, we could slot in a brief explanation about the secrets of this kingdom. The voice beyond the speaker began with a hint of excitement, as though he'd been expecting the situation all along. Or maybe he's expecting something to come of this. Long, long ago, a lonesome king resided within the towering walls of this great castle.
아무도 없는 곳에서 살아간다는 것은 쉬운 일이 아니었을 테지요.
So, yes, no, I agree with that statement. So that's why I was saying, because the doors, so what I think our point is the same here. We're just using different words to say the same thing, but I think what I just said, it was literally because it connects to everything, then it connects to the place where the information is coming from. You know, because my idea is that there is maybe a place within the city that has like a brain that relays information to our Faust about the Discord. I don't think our Faust is directly by her own brain by itself connected to the Discord. My gist is that there probably is an intermediary, because I feel that that's how Limbus Company kind of can control Faust, or Faust. So whenever she is in the Mephistopheles, the connection was regained because one of the doors leads to the place where this brain or the thing that relays the information to her is. In the end, the answer kind of becomes the same, but I'm just saying that in my term, it's because the middleman is connected to somewhere in the city, and because all the doors are connected to everywhere in the city, then we're gonna come to a place where it's just gonna come the information from. In the end, the answer is still the same, technically. John watches in confusion. Yeah, we're just talking about just theories, and no, I was just trying to say that my theory probably is the same of Mori. It's just a little more, full of things that might be right or wrong. I'm not sure. False doesn't have to be in a Mephi to have connection. It's just cut specifically in the warp frame. No, I know. She uses the connection all the. What I'm saying is, she doesn't have a problem with the connection because she is still in the city. Yeah, she doesn't need to be in Mephi because if she's still in the city, she will get the connection down. She couldn't get the connection because the warp train was not in the city, but Mephistopheles is linked to the city where the connection is coming from. That's my gist. Because, like, if you think about it, even though the warp train is not connected to the city itself, Faust by herself should be able to access the Discord because technically all the other Fausts are in other mirror worlds. So technically they are not in the same dimension anyways. But why is that being in the warp train cuts off her connection? It's just because the middleman that gives her the information to connect to the Discord exists within the city. My belief is if Faust was a Faust that could easily connect to the Discord, she would have been able to still get the information that she was looking for, even inside the warp train. Because I believe that maybe W Corp Faust can still connect to the Discord even if she's working inside the warp train. That's just my assumption. I'm not saying that it is a thing. She might also be cut off whenever she's actually working in the moving train. Not that she needs to work in a moving train because she does cleaning, so she only goes in the train probably whenever the train is already stopped. Yeah, but I don't think the false is connected to. But I don't think the false is connected to false from Mirror Worlds. Ah, why don't you think? Since it was never stated, falses probably have their own falses. Okay, so you think that every single false have their own middle false relaying the information to them. Interesting. My theory is that only our false has the middleman false relaying the information to her. Because it's never said, but the same way that it was never stated that it doesn't exist, it was never stated that it also exists. Because if I might not know because I don't have every false ID, but doesn't any of the other IDs mention false being connected to false? I know that in other IDs it mentioned that she is part of the grid, the hive mind, the Discord. There's a higher chance that our own that or our only this world's. There is a higher chance that our. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, this is something that we don't have the information to see if it's like whoever it is. I hope eventually it might. I don't think they will give any of the any conclusive answer of those informations we're trying to brainstorm about before false on Kanto. I feel like they already gave us a lot of information outside of her Kanto on the warp train, which I find very nice that we know now at least something about false that other people don't on the team. But technically, we already knew a little bit of most of the characters a little bit before their own Kanto. But we end up knowing from False in the Warp Train way before her own Kanto. So I find that very interesting. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna give us more intel about False before her own Kanto. I think they're gonna probably save all those questions we have whenever it's our time. There not being the false in other worlds doesn't mean the other false are stupido. Oh no, I'm not. So that's my thing. I feel like every single false. That's my thing. The false for me, it's a. I think the false is a middleman that allows her to access the Discord. I don't know what you're. I don't know. Maybe we're having some like a just to make sure if we're in the same plane. The default you're mentioning is the middleman that allows her to connect to the Discord, right? Where all the other false share information between them. Or you're not, or you're saying that default is the actual Discord server. The Gisht. She mentioned the name, but it's kind of weird. Because my idea is that or false is connecting to the false that is connected to the Discord. Probably if our false never relied on the false. Okay, so I think I believe what you're doing. For you, the false is the Discord. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was the little resonance that I thought we were having on our conversation here. I feel like our false needs a middleman to access the Discord, which you're probably calling the false. I feel like all the other false can actually connect to the Discord without a middleman. That is my gist. And yeah, all the false are very smart because all of them can get the information from all the other false. I just feel that our false get that information through an artificial way. Because our false is a homunculi. That's why I'm saying that our false is a homunculi. Okay, let me continue this because if you're describing data holder as Discord already seems wrong. Discord is not even that reliable. I'm just saying that is like a place where they share information. I call it Discord because all of them are connected to the same server. I just call it Discord because it's like a fun, easy name for people to understand. I feel like if you say data holder, some people would need a little more info to kind of get it. That's why I call it Discord. I find it funnier. But like, there's no difference between what I'm saying and you're saying in terms of where you're trying to, the information we're trying to to relay actually. And during so many years in such a desolate place, wear him down.
쓸쓸한 한치
Lonely mornings, silent nights, the king's heart forever a hollow void.
공허함으로 가득했답니다. 그래서 왕은
So
너무
this
외로웠던
soul
밤에
crushing loneliness
가족의
drove the king to
존재를
yearn for
알아버렸습니다.
a family
간절히,
desperately. Oh,
아주 간절히.
so desperately.
그래서 왕의
So
소원대로
the king began
평생을
turning his
함께
wish into reality, forging a family of his own,
가족을
bloodbound to
만들기
spend the rest of their lives together until the end of days. So, okay,
왕은
the
모든
king's
가족에게
love for his
막연한
family
사랑을
was bottomless and generous. Soon,
그러자 싸늘한
the cold,
밤새
desolate castle became a
왕은
cozy home, brimming with warm laughter.
모두의 집이 되었습니다. 하지만
Yet perhaps,
행복이라는 건
happiness simply isn't a thing that lasts.
행복이 이어지던
It was one of those that many happy days when a knight, hailing from a faraway kingdom, arrived at the gates of this castle. So I believe we're talking about the king creating all the blood fiends we're gonna meet on this La Mancha land, and the knight being Don Quixote. That's my guess. The knight was a traveler and wanderer with hundreds of adventures and thousands of tales to tell, collected from hither and thither and yonder beyond the world outside of the castle. The king, who had spent his entire life never setting so much of a foot outside of the castle, requested that the knight recount tales as of those adventures to him. The knight, at want of any reason to refuse this request, said as such, "O honored king, verily, I shall regale thee with tales of the worlds I've witnessed and adventures I've undertaken." The false could be either a kind of a big service PC, or itself be a homunculus. Instead of our false, which brain is the flask on false's icon refers to. Of our own, which brain in the false icon refer. Yeah, could be. Yeah, that could be, for sure. I enjoy that you actually incorporated the homunculus idea. But yeah, I feel like my theory, by all means, I have a good feeling that I have something right on there, but I might be missing some parts. I don't know. Again, if they relay more informations to us about more of Faust as we go through the other cantos and intervalos, I might be able to refine a little more of the idea. Of course, we just got more information, but yeah, I don't think we will. Just because it's not that I even don't think we will. I feel low key. I hope they don't. I would like to actually experience more in her own story without being served so many informations beforehand. It kind of feels a little bit spoilery in my head. Like, I'll just hold it for the whole story. It's whenever you instead of like watching every single episode of the anime, you decide to watch the entire season all at once because you don't want to be fed a little bits and pieces. It would be a really long time till we get an all info on the topic, since False Canto will be the last one. Yes, and it needs to be the last one because like I think is the canto that will reveal most to us. A lot of people actually I've seen coming in here and mentioning that we might get a Canto 14 or something, which would be like Dante's Canto. I don't know. I think the entire adventure is Dante's Canto in a way, because this is technically Dante's journey through hell. That's the point. So I don't believe we're ever gonna have a Dante's Canto because every single canto is Dante's Canto, in a way. Then maybe reading the book which Faustus refers to could give some answers. Oh yeah, that's a thing. I forgot about it. I don't know about their book. Since all cantos and sinners are based on the relative. Yes, that's why I can. So the only actually book that I ever known about any of these sinners beforehand, funnily enough, is this one. Because, well, technically Don Quixote is the most popular of all of these books. If I'm not mistaken, is the most translated book in its existence together with the Bible. If I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, The Adventures of Don Quixote is like, it's something that I've learned whenever I was a kid. So it's kind of easy for me to piece out her informations. All the other ones were pretty new to me. I'm more of like a manga manhwa reader than like a real literature, which I know kind of sounds pedantic. It is me. Well, technically there could be 90 cantos. Yeah, but so a lot of people, this is information outside of my realm because I never double checked this information that I would say to you. But a lot of people said that the game has a lot of phases, and the next one is Purgatorio. So I do believe that they will finish the 13 cantos and then start Purgatorio, which is the next kind of phase of Limbus Company. Which I appreciate that is structure. Now, you're right. They could keep like nobody said how many cantos should each phase have. Like they can pick and choose the size, but I think I would be okay with 13 cantos now for this first part, and then they can come up with more. Like they can do more than just 13 on the next part. Especially because if we're going to the Dante's Inferno and we're in Purgatorio, we have a lot of other characters that need to be featured. For obvious reasons, if you know about the lore of Dante's Inferno, there's a lot of gaps we're missing. Inferno and Dante things is all about divine comedy. Yes, Inferno button and drive the stop contents button for a reason. Indeed, and I was even talking to people about who could be Beatrice. Because Beatrice is a very important character. It's like a good character that becomes evil, and that becomes then redeemed. And I was telling people that a character, and again, just my ramblings, not, and I don't know much about some of the lore, but Carmen, it's a very even though she doesn't have, as far as we're concerned, any link with Dante, she kind of fits the character of Beatrice. She starts like a good person before she, commits suicide, and now she is. We at least we have this distortion or this phenomenon, which is Carmen, that now is distorting people or giving them egos. Depends on your answer to her. So I feel like Carmen itself could be Beatrice, an evil that we might defeat, but that started with good intentions. Could be revealed in Nimbus later. Dante out here suffering from amnesia from yes. But I feel like Carmen is an important part of the story. One of the most important things we're doing here in Limbus Company is taking care of the distortions. And we know that Carmen is the one creating all those distortions. So she is a big centerpiece of the story that we most likely will understand more whenever we get to Purgatorio. Which is I'm so excited for, by the way. That's why my guess is Carmen would be the equivalent to Beatrice. But they can play some other way. We're gonna see whenever we get there. Okay, I read this part. Okay. Soon, something new, something different began to fill the castle. Tales of thrilling adventures. Some days, they would take a long voyage at sea, of heroes braving the relentless waves. Some days, they would whisper the heartbreaking tragic tales of lovers. Some days, they would sing of heroes' perilous encounters with an unwieldy monster. And it kept going and going and going, as though the end was an idea alien to them. As the king spent days upon days without sleep or rest, lost in the tales of adventures, we soon came into a grave realization. Like, knowing this story is Don Quixote, Like, it's easy for me to predict that most of the stories that Don Quixote is telling are all fake, are all make-believe because of her own, you know, illness. Maybe being a blood fiend is the mental illness that we're gonna give Don Quixote to warrant her hallucinations. That's my guess. I know it's gonna be explained to us, but we know that most of the stories are fake, or it's just exaggerations or fantasies based on real life occurrences. All I know is uh, Winrate Mori. Where did you learn this? Sure.
피를 나눈
That
가정으로
his family of blood, this
성한
confined
소리의
happiness locked within the castle,
자신의
cannot
부모가
fill that void in his
완전히
heart.
채워질 수 없다는가.
By the way, thanks so much for talking, Mori. I love discussing about lore. It's it's very fun. Because even though like I don't know everything, I haven't read everything, I still have to read all the Dante notes. I will do it once I'm done with all the cantos. I will actually sit down and read everything that I have to. Um, it's pretty fun to still like brainstorm with the little knowledge that I have. I have the ability to, which most are stripped to read. I don't. I agree, but some texts are so long that sometimes I'm like, dude, that's a lot.
그래서 왕은
So,
자신의
the king
기운을
began to feel the emptiness with tales of adventurers the knights regaled him with. I like, I think one point is, you gotta remember that is
그리고 성에
also an
깊은
art
교양을
of a good writer to relay their stories in a interesting manner that will keep people engaged even though it's a lot to read, you know, because like there is a difference. Let's say I am reading about a book about fantasy and about an essay for like a scientific thesis. Those things, even though like their subjects are completely different, the cadence and the way that those two things were written on are completely different. One is supposed to relay a story, and one's supposed to relay a scientific thesis. It doesn't need to have any cadence particularly, you just need to relay data. So it doesn't need to actually come in a way to make the writer compelled to keep reading. You're compelled to keep reading because you want to get the data, on which the story, the reader is compelled to keep reading because it is also written in a way that makes things very nice for you to read. So I will say like the Dante's notes are a good example. Some of them can like and for what I've read whenever I was reading the passages from some of the abnormalities. Some of them are not written as smooth because it changes based on who's writing on the terms of the abnormalities. But in Canto, I don't think they're on the Dante notes. I don't feel like they're all written in a very nice cadence. So it can be a little jarring for you to go ahead and read. Seal, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate. GMO, welcome. Thanks for joining us. You came into good time. Me and my buddy here, Maury, we've been discussing about lore. Okay, yeah, discussing info and listening to other people's opinions can often clear some confusion and bring utmost wonderful understanding. Agreed. I always say that, and a lot of people have an irk with people that have a lot of argumentations like I do, because like whenever I'm very interested in a subject, I can talk a lot like we're doing right now, and like but people can be a little upset because like there is a lot of like a dissonance on the conversation, and it needs to people needs to have patience to come into an understanding a lot of times. And I have like a lot of patience to understand where you're coming from because with the thing about the Faust, we were technically talking about the same thing, but because I called it one thing and you called the other thing, I was not really sure that we're talking about the same thing until I had to double check with you. A lot of times people don't have time to double check or to clarify. They will just make assumptions and just get riled up from there on. Which, like, a conversation should be something that, for the most part, you need to come into an understanding. Like, even though, like, we might not see eye to eye, I want to understand where you're coming from. So if I don't actually understand what you're actually saying, I would just be assuming, like doing assumptions of what you're saying and not really getting the information correctly. And that, I think, is kind of annoying. But hello everyone, thanks so much and for coming. And I know that I might be rambling a lot, it's just because I'm still in the talking mood. Faust appeared in Leviathan, didn't she? She did, yes. Faust appeared in Leviathan. By the way, if people didn't read Leviathan. It's a very good story. I have still yet to read Distortion Detective, but I did read the Leviathan. I'm too lazy to read the novel part of Leviathan. I've heard a lot of people saying the same thing. Whenever it became a novel, they stopped reading. And what I did for me to read Leviathan was actually there's a YouTube channel that did the whole reading of the novel, and I just listened to it. That's how I listened to the novel part of Leviathan. I didn't read it by myself. It was more like an audiobook. Especially because I didn't record all the names of the side characters, because again, some names can be a little complicated. So it was hard for me to know who they were talking about before after, like, I need to double check the actual comics all the time in order to get who they were mentioning. So it was just easy to go to the audiobook because it got a little more clearer for me. They were also using some images. I have barely any reading comprehension in actuality. It's so sad. I have barely any reading comprehension. Oh, but again, nobody is born about reading comprehension. It's something that you practice with, you know? Like interpreting the texts and reading and comprehending stuff. It's tough. And again, it's not only your fault as a reader, it's also the fault of the writer. One thing that I discuss a lot here on this channel about Limbus Company and about other games from Project Moon, I feel like a lot of times their informations are not very well relayed when it comes to the gimmicks of the game. Like, if you see right now the new IDs, like the new the new Honglu ID, it's a block of texts. It's a gigantic block of texts with a lot of jargons and names in there. And it's not very well written for someone to get just looking at it. You know, a lot of times you need to actually play with the ID to understand what is the significance of what's written there, because sometimes it just doesn't come across as easy. I'm not saying that the Honglu ID is that complicated. I'm just saying that it can happen to some IDs, which, like, I have, like, a lot of times whenever I was doing other Cantos, I think especially whenever I fought Dunbei on Canto 4, there was a point where people were trying to help me to beat her using a friend ID, and my chat was divided on the actual mechanics of Malfaust, even though everyone had it Malfaust, because they didn't quite remember exactly what it did. Everybody had a slightly difference on what I should do to actually defeat Dongbei with an ID that everybody has. Because the information is not relayed in a way that's very easy for everybody to get. So there is this dissonance where people have the same ID and play with the same ID non-stop and still have this problem trying to understand how to use it. So it's kind of like an acquired ability for you to learn to play with certain IDs that have long texts. Because if you don't play with them so much, or if you don't reach certain events with them, you don't know how they will play out by just reading the text. Too lazy to read the novel part of the time, double checked my info, and I was kind of wrong about the Faust. Gish Faust, aka Faust, is actually a net. Yeah, that's what I call the Discord, which doesn't hold any info itself. It's quite literally a connection between all Faust across the mirror roads and beyond. Yes, I call the Gestalt Discord because it's not really, like, it's just like, that's what I call, it's a Discord call. All of them are talking to each other through this one net. So that's why I say it's like a huge Discord call whenever they just can just ask something to the other false and they can answer. It's kind of a literal connection between all falls across mirror worlds. So all falls share their memories at all times, except for warp train like cases. I don't know if they share their memories at all times. That's a problem that I need to stop you right there. I think they need to allow you to have the information. At least our Faust needs to get the information allowed to, because again on the warp train she mentioned that some information were not relayed to her correctly. There were missing gaps. So unless the other Faust can actually manipulate how she sees the information, I don't think they can just get their memories at all times without their control. If I am false from this world and I want to get the information out of the false of the W train that works on the W train on another mirror world, I need for them to give me the answer. It's literally like that. That's why I keep saying a Discord call, because our false need to ask and they need to say it. She said she was not informed about the connection getting cut at a warp train. Yes. Probably what happened is our false ahead of time asked about the informations of the warp train, but they did not tell her that the connection would get cut. And I think whenever she regained the connection, she said something between the lines that they did not inform her on purpose. So I believe that they can withhold information out of her false. She literally needs to ask and they need to respond. So that's the problem. False could clash in clashable skills at the release, but it was fixed. Flash could clash in... Really? Yeah, I can see why that was... But that was actually makes sense canonically. Could you imagine that she has like one idea has a gimmick? You know that they would never do it. That's why we don't have another fluid sac like False has that heals everyone, because there's no other ego that heals everyone quite like Fluid Sac does, because of how broken it is. Let's continue. It's Canto 8's content which can be also, no problem. Again, I'm gonna be doing Canto 8 on the coming weeks. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm still stuck with this just because we're talking so much and so interesting. But you know, I'm gonna do Canto 8 and then we can just delve more about informations. But one thing though about things about Canto 8 that you can talk about is about the Shi and Mung, which are the type of energy that I know we're gonna find on Canto 8 because I have Capomerso and because I read Leviathan. But what can I say? Technically, Falls should have perfect martial arts. Yeah, because if you think like that's one thing that I was gonna say, right? With her knowledge of all the shared universes, you would believe that she would be able to fight just as well as any other Falls doing their own types of fighting styles on the other mirror worlds, and vice versa. That doesn't happen. I don't, and I think I know why. Knowing something doesn't mean that she can perform something. It's like if you can clearly see a bullet coming in your direction, you might not have the actual physical skills to dodge it, but you can still know that the bullet's coming your way, but you cannot physically do it. I think that's what's stopping Faust. She knows how to train. She's just not training her body in order to perform anything. And also, she always goes to knowledge. She never goes to actually applying that knowledge through fighting. She just likes to talk. And I feel like that's a kind of a letdown. Like, I would appreciate, like, False by herself could actually do most things by herself. Everything. Because she has all the knowledge of all the other False. She just doesn't want to. And all the other False also don't want to, either. All the other Falls are completely fine by just getting the information, but never actually putting into physical work in order to, you know, let's say, our Falls could learn about how to clean the fucking entire warp train from the cleaner W Faust, but she doesn't, because she doesn't even need it to. With Infinite Mirror Worlds, I believe she would know how to counter anyone, right? She would be better manager than Dante, because she should already know how to fight every enemy. Technically, you're right. And technically, you're wrong. Either. Because we can say that our false might find something that the other false didn't. And even though she can grasp the concept, they might not be the exact same one by one. Even though technically it should have been, technically also it does not. It's weird. But I agree with your point. Technically, False should be the most OP character by default. She's just not. Now, I wonder if what we're talking about here, about like she learning more stuff and like fighting better because she can learn about the other False, ends up being something that they will tackle on future down the line. Because one thing that we know is every single sinner needs to go through a training time. None of our sinners know how to use Shi or Meng. And those are skills that they need to learn. Now, they can get IDs that know how to do those skills. But I believe the base sinners will need to get that. I'm not just talking about the IDs. I'm talking the base sinners need to evolve. Hello, thank you so much for the follow, 13 Sinner Gregor. An apple, you say? Yes. No actions really can be unique because there are infinite mirror worlds. But if there are infinite mirror worlds, then there might be actions that the other false never faced because it's unique. Because it's so many unique options that there might not be enough false for enough events. Because let's say there is infinite amounts of possibilities that just one false in each mirror world needs to go through. So maybe, even though we have infinite mirror falses, we might have more infinite amounts of possibilities that even the false never gone through. I know it's kind of weird, but I'm just trying to relay what they can say for the clear gap on the logic that we face here with Faust. They might have already thought about it, and we might learn about those questions we're asking whenever her Canto comes up. Even though I find it's going to be hardly enough to satiate or the clear problem that they created here with Faust. I still feel the Faust is by default way too much broken for them to balance her. But yeah, what I was saying, I need all the sinners are gonna need to grow, because I feel like all the base sinners will need to learn Meng, and will need to learn Shi. And I believe they will probably release a evolved version of the base sinners whenever we get to Purgatorio. After they train more and unlock more powers. It's impossible for a human mind to really fathom infinity, but in a way, false can relay information from infinite amounts of false. So technically it would be impossible for a brain like false to even fathom the existence of infinite amounts of false relay informations with each other. They would just short-circuit themselves the moment that they start to talk to each other. How can they parse information if we technically are talking about infinite amounts of mirror worlds connecting each other in a Discord server? Really turn from Canto 7 streaming to the false stream, right? It's actually a false essay. We are making our own Canto 12, right? Once me and Mori are done with this, Project Moon can just watch the stream and go by that, if they are still not aware of how they're gonna play out Canto 12. And again, this is not even my final form. I haven't read her book. If I had read Faust's book and I knew a little bit more about Faust, I would probably be way ahead with the theories. Like some sort of LCB 2.0 IDs that could achieve through story progress. Exactly, Tuna the Fish. Exactly what I'm talking about. We're gonna have to unlock a stronger version of the sinners post-purgatory. And I was even talking about how they could do the stories in purgatory, because I feel like in order for the sinners to grow, they need to be drift apart, and they need to go through trainings and learning curves of themselves. Because I feel that's the way for them to unlock the necessary abilities for them to unlock Shi and Mang by themselves. The only sadly sinner book that I have right now is Wuthering Heights, which is Heathcliff. Yeah, which I've heard it's a great read. I only read Don Quixote, but again, like I said, it's probably the most basic one. Hello, Sandy. I want to read the Odyssey, though I'm not sure where Otis is. The Odyssey might be the second one where a lot of people are very knowledgeable about, because a lot of people are into mythology. A lot of people know who Odysseus is. A lot of people might not have read the book, but knows the TLDR of the story. And once I'm done with my next target is not false, but La Mancha's Don Quixote, then I'll go for false probably. Oh yeah, by all means, Don Quixote is great. One of the best stories written probably ever. It is very good. It's not like, if you never did it, I recommend you giving it a go. There's even movies. Like that's the part that I was saying. I feel like there is movies talking about Odysseus and Don Quixote. So those are the two probably that you can know the TLDR about them without even needing to sorry. Without even needing to read the book. Not a short novel. Not a short novel. This is the Picas Canto. Hello, Rooney. Thanks so much for the follow. Let me continue this canto because I've been actually talking probably for the last 30 minutes or so with Mori about, maybe more actually, about lore, and it's amazing. But I just want to get this done because I would not finish Canto 7 if we keep this going. Like, I would probably have to do timestamps on the stream just so people can skip through this whole part. Because I've been on the stream for the past probably 40 minutes without actually reading anything. Though maybe I've already found Otis, as Otis means nobody, and said the secret story. I have to remember, I don't remember anything about Odysseus. Also in the Odyssey, the part where Otis is the name of the main character is just a small part. Yeah, I don't remember anything. Nah, who cares about Canto 7 at this point? False talkies speak. False talkies speak. But there's a lot of people wanting to watch this Canto. But we can keep going at other times, Maury. And by the way, you can just keep talking about false talk with people on the chat. All falls across the mirror world shall know the glaze. Is that Sandy influence? Right, it's your fault. I've been in the past 40 minutes stuck on this image here, talking about something that's not related to what's happening right now. But I gotta continue. So the king began to feel the emptiness of the tales of adventurers the night regaled with him, and his infinite love to his family, started to grow in a different direction, toward adventure, towards the night, and towards the world outside of the periphery of his castle. The family, though it wouldn't last. The family thought it wouldn't last. It was all but a fleeting dream, after all, just a brief, silly whim, in which he fancied himself as what he was not, donning himself a pair of ragged boots and wielding an iron lance. The family waited for the king, their creator, who not only gave them love, but bequeathed them with same void of the heart, to love them, and only them, again. Yet, for all their waiting, what came thereafter from the king's mouth was bitter to their ears. Let us bring down the walls of this castle. Let's make friends with those outside. declared the king. Is the king himself Don Quixote? Because there's a possibility. I was thinking the knight that told the stories to the king was Don Quixote, but the king himself might be Don Quixote. The family was afraid. To bring down the castle meant that their comfortable, familiar, and eternal home, and nest was to be no more. But the family loved the lonely king in his will, enough to help him demolish his own castle. So the deed was done, spades in their hands. Yet, those who lived outside the castle were far too different from those who lived within. The king's family had given up so many things: happiness, joy, ecstasy, pleasure, hope, anticipation. They had to give up all. They had to give them all up because otherwise they could not become friends with those outside the castle. So the king outlawed happiness from his family because he believed that they could be happy merely by watching the happiness of others, of those who lived outside the castle, blossom. That happiness was something that could be shared. Even though happiness is something that could be shared, and I agree with the king, most humans or beings have egos. They want to produce their own happiness that sometimes is not coming just from other people. Believing that their happiness could be our own in time. All of our pursuits of happiness were designed a scene, ordained a scene. So I ask, why must we repent for our happiness? There were so many mentions of family. What do we suppose he's trying to say? A load of shit that was. How interesting. I wonder if that family ever had real happiness to begin with. While everyone else found themselves rendered speechless by his gloomy tale, Hong Lu did not hesitate to share his thoughts as though it was just another light-hearted tale. This is probably okay. Can I just say something out of on the limb? Hong Lu is quickly, like by a landslide, becoming my favorite sinner. I find that Hong Lu is usually the only one that understands matters outside of some people's coherence when it comes to the sinners. Because of his own upbringing with his family and his brothers and sisters. But I really appreciate Hong Lu's perspective on the world. Oh, look, I see the exit sign over there. Looks like this is where the attraction ends. Yeah, it says something under there. There was a sign on the wall with instructions written in bolded letters. All blood fiends must attend at least one weekly consultation session with the priest. Hongler appreciation. Indeed, I have a lot of Hongler appreciation. I gotta eventually redo my tier list whenever I'm finished Canto 8. I made a tier list whenever I finished Canto 4 about all my characters and how I was feeling towards them until that point. I will redo said tier list whenever I finish Canto 8, and I do feel that Honglu might be number 1 whenever I finish there because it's his Canto next. So if I'm already enjoying him so much right now, I can only imagine how much my appreciation will grow after I experience his whole dynamic with his family. Is that the guy from Canto 1? Are you talking about the apple? If so, no. I am not the same apple that ate Yuri. But hello, your typical gamer. Did you eat your ammo bar today? They killed my mother. Or it was yesterday. You know, memory can be fading. So baby, now you feel like number 1. shining bright for everyone. Is this lyrics of something? All blood fiends must attend at least one weekly consultation session with the priest. Consultation session.
무엇에 대한 면담인 것인지.
Are you capable of consumption? Yes, I am capable of consumption. Not about Yuri. I do not eat Yuri. And those are lyrics. Nice. Consultations of what kind and on which subject, one must wonder. Why the Bleach lyrics? Wait, are those lyrics of a Bleach song? Like the anime Bleach? Because like I don't remember the lyrics of any Bleach song in English, unless the song is actually sung in English. Then I might be mistaken. But there's only one Bleach song that I remember vividly, and for me it's one of the best openings of all times. I cannot play on stream because I'm gonna get flagged. Let me see if I can remember which song it is. If I play Bleach song, put Bleach song on YouTube, I'll most likely find it very quickly. Give me a second, guys. I'm finding it. Is this one? Yeah. Yeah, it's the first opening to Bleach. Yeah, it's the first opening. Asterisk by Orange Range. Yeah, it was not hard for me to think about it. For me, it's one of the best openings of all times. For me, it's right there with the opening with what's the name? I think the name is Collar. It's the opening for the guy that controls people with his eyes. Anime wants to control the world. Lelouch. You guys know this is a very famous one. I forgot the name of the anime. Code Geass. Yes, Code Geass opening. Colors. Probably also for me one of the best openings of all times. Okay, let's focus on stop. Guys, let me finish Canto 7. First song is not number 1, pretty sure. I think I'm talking about Asterisk, which is the first opening. Oh no, I'm not talking. The first opening is number 1. I'm talking that the first opening to Bleach, which is Asterisk by Orange Range, is my favorite, one of my favorite openings of all times. I find it interesting that Merceau can be inferred to have autism. I mean, I feel like nowadays everybody has a little bit of autism and ADHD. I have a hard time meeting people nowadays that I cannot spot a little bit, which is fine again. Canto 7, sorry, Mr. Archie, this is now a stream where we discuss anime. This was a stream where we discussed Faust. Anything, I guess. Or maybe it's like a confession. I know it's clearly not true anymore, but La Mancha Land must put in a lot of effort back in the day. Indeed, perhaps they once dreamed of coexistence. Nay, nothing but wicked trickery all. No, I'm pretty sure that they actually believed in coexistence. It's just kind of impossible. You know, every time that vampires try to coexist with humans, like any of you ever watched the very masterful piece of media called Twilight? And you know what happened on that one. Yes, The guy
별한 발상을 떠올리시네요.
sparkled on the sun. They during your coexistence, well,
저쪽에
one
비틀거리시는 분이
exact
보이네요.
bluffing. Oh yeah, one of them for sure. The other ones were forced to. The other ones just were forced to dream as well.
정의 지름으로. 아무것도 남지 마라. 혀! 아르카나 빛!
Pokemon do not have abilities in
아,
Legends.
여기서 이런 공격이 잘 먹히는.
Okay, that's dumb.
어라? 저쪽에 비틀거리시는 분.
Sorry, I just read. Someone just messaged. So
이만 편히 눕혀드릴까요?
I have a friend that we like to play Pokemon together, and he just messaged me saying, "Dude, did you see that the Pokemons are not gonna have abilities on Legends Z?" And I'm like, this is dumb.
결국은 이렇게 떨어지죠.
Like we need to dumb down Pokemon even more.
수고 많으셨어요.
Oh, when it follows, if you live 500 years and still poor as hell, you're cooked. And amusement park, aka La Mancha Land, is his dream results like a dream ending. Right? Yes, that's what I guess. La Mancha Land is the culmination of all his dreams.
저분은 어디 아프신 걸까요? 아까랑 다르게 기운이 없어 보여요.
사랑으로 정의 이르라.
That's just stupid. What the fuck they even gonna do that?
위해서
Spam Hyper Bean, I guess. Have you guys seen the new Dragonair Mega? I have. And I'll see. Okay, I'll say about the Dragonair Mega before we continue with the abilities.
강해지셨네요. 매일 보아하는
I've
분들도
seen some fan art of the Dragon of a Dragonair of the Dragonite. Sorry, the Dragonite Mega. That is actually pretty good. Now, the actual 3D model is garbage.
날카롭고 정확하게.
About the lack of abilities,
이 정도쯤이야?
Pokemon is already getting simpler and simpler by the day, and they're just trying to make it more simple. I never got into Pokemon. I've always been very much so into creature collections kind of vibe.
결국은
Like whenever I was a kid, there were 3 main anime that I would watch religiously: Pokemon,
한결난
Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon was the one that I liked the least because I always felt the story to be the most an interesting one. Where Digimon had the best story of all of every single one of them, because Digimon always had a very good story. It's just not popular because people don't care as much. But the story of Digimon is pretty nice, all things considered. If people ever watch Digimon here.
세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가? 없어도 전혀 상관없다는
Of the
내
Penitent
지금
Blood
우리가
Fiends
멈추라.
and the Bizarre Survey.
그런 것일 텐데.
여기는 순록 선멸 지역 진입했어요.
I've never got into Pokemon. Like the first time I heard about it was when I was like 14. We played with Beyblades when I was when and where I was a kid. Whenever I was a kid, our main fun was Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblade as well. Yeah, a lot of kids would either play with Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Beyblades. And I didn't have enough money to buy either of them. So, one thing, I live in Brazil. So a lot of those products, they would come imported here in Brazil back in the day. So they were extremely expensive. For you to find like a real Beyblade or Yu-Gi-Oh card original, it was very expensive. The first actual original game that I played was neither of those. Was actually, and you guys might not remember this, Oh, Merm just mentioned that. Bakugan, yes. Bakugan was the first one that I actually had real products for. But nobody played Bakugan, but I had Bakugans. And then I eventually got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But I never had an original Beyblade, even though I would play. All my Beyblades were very flimsy, made out of plastic. Like, I had people on my school that had Beyblades made out of like steel and metal. It was crazy. Like, it was not even fun playing against them. Just their Blade shocking against mine would break my Beyblade. That's a sad state of affairs. I had to wait too many Bakugans than one should. Way too many Bakugans than one should have. I had a couple, but since nobody was there playing Bakugan around here, I just fell out of it. This is not a stench, it's an aura. Same as manager Don ID, Rap Ryoshu, and others did. Buying Bakugans at the flea market was just the peak of my childhood. It's just me trying to fetch some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Or buy, like, for me, one of my best memories was buying packs. Because before I was able to buy Yu-Gi-Oh packs, the only store in my city that would sell cards actually only sold Magic the Gathering cards, and those were the very first packs of cards that I ever bought it. So those, like, I still have the memory of opening a pack of Magic the Gathering cards, and I don't even remember which one wore it back then because I managed to get rid of all the cards. But it's just like a very memorable smell. I always love the scent of new TCG. Like, if you open a new pack, a new deck, new booster, whatever, there is a particular scent that those cards have. I love that. For me, that's happiness. We all had metal Beyblades. Those metal. I hated playing with the people with the metal Beyblades. I only played with the other poor people with the flimsy plastic ones. After a short journey, we came upon a quiet and solemn-looking room, and in front of it stood a group of blood fiends looking at us in anticipation. But they all appeared to have gone through their share of battles. Many of them appeared injured and out of breath, clearly exhausted. Are you here for the for the confession? Confession? What are you talking about? Within this room is the one who forgives our sins. But before you enter, take a deep breath. Bow the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And please give an honest answer to my questions. First, how intense is your desire for blood today? 1 for a lot, 2 for mild, 3 for somewhat, 4 for intensely unbearably, 5 for is driving me insane, 6 for it's killing me. This kind of seems out of it too. Whatever nonsense are those speaking of? Does not, of course. Then here's my second question. Should you consume your hemo bar today? 1 for yes, and 2 for no. Wait, don't cut me off. I must answer all of these questions to be granted audience with the priest. If you have not consumed a hemo bar today, then please explain your reasoning. Damn it! Isn't it obvious? It tastes like shit! If it's sucking blood from an insect would taste better than that, you agree, wouldn't you? Huh? Oh boy. Guys, get ready. Last question. Did you feel the parchedness in your throat when you looked at a human today? Say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, 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 yes! Yes, always. Like I'm about to go insane. No, actually, not really. Not even for a moment. See, I got answered. You know, I play D&D. I know how to do some role playing whenever I want to. Like I like to do very like emotional characters. I'm a very emotional apple.
보신 걸까요? 아까랑 다르게 기운이
아.
없어 보여요.
Let's see chat. Um, can confirm sniffing new cardboard is like an addiction. Indeed, indeed. We had a toy shop in the neighboring city where they sold Yu-Gi-Oh copy cards, where the Google translated into Hungarian with misprints. Like some cards had 95. Oh, we have too the same thing, but in Portuguese. I saw a video of a guy having two homemade metal Beyblades fight each other with gasoline on the stage, so the glasses would light up in flames. That's awesome.
이번 기발한 발상을 떠올리시네요.
I know that nowadays there are still people that do play with Beyblades. I think a couple of months ago, Beyblades were kind of coming a little back into the limelight, believe it or not. Jump the blood fiends. My Hamo bar. Oh yes, the Hamo bar is my favorite meal. They should have made the blood fiend start at negative 35 sanity. Indeed, that did crash out. Get this Apple voice acting job. Thank you. I would too crash out if I had to eat essentially shit for like my life. That's industrial Beyblade. We want this industrial shit. So ideal. So ideal. Hello, Borb. I didn't see you coming. Hi. How are you doing? But yeah, like I keep saying, if I had a little more income, I would be addicted to something. I think card games is an easy addiction for me to go back to because I always love TCGs. There's so many cool looking ones nowadays. We have the One Piece TCG that I find them very cool looking. There is the Final Fantasy TCG, which is getting more and more pronounced. I would buy some of them. I don't think I would buy the popular ones though. I don't think I would go for Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon if I would need to buy new cards. I think I'll go for something a little less
이 풍진
outside of
선생님이
those three big
수고
ones.
많으셨어요.
Archer, would it be wrong of me to give the priest some of my blood?
그 끝에 고요한 휴식이 있기에.
It's you, buddy. It's your body. It's your blood. It's your body. Your choice. Hardcore Beyblade battles sounds fun. Agreed. You know, whoever loses the Beyblade actually jumps and cuts your head off. That's the hardcore that I'm looking for. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh going to the Shadow Realms kind of situation. You lose the Beyblade battle, you lose your life.
이만 편히 눕혀드릴까요?
What happened with real blades in the Beyblades? More blades and less Bey. Now a good idea to remind a long-starved third kindred about taste of blood, indeed. And it tastes like metal. Whoever loses the battle loses their life, but they need to be executed with the Beyblade.
이런 사소한 일에도
You need to kill the person with the Beyblade.
모두가 노력한 덕분에
It's too flimsy to kill them anyway any other way. In fact, I could sleep like 2 days ago over Millie songs playing in my head all night. Specifically, Gone Angels. Gone Angels. I don't remember which one is that. But nice. Millie songs are great. I don't know. I am my biggest fan. Aw, look at you. That's the attitude that someone needs to have, you know, Mori? Be the biggest fan of yourself. Fuck everyone else. As long as you love yourself and you care about yourself, who the fuck cares? I have sinned. I've sinned once again today. I confess. Take me to the priest. They said it's all going to be okay if I visit the priest when I feel the thirst. They say. So the priest is there, right? You're going to have to wait your turn. The other one sought the priest too. Must have been sinners as well.
줄을 서야 할지.
in which a truth that may be revealed by close inspection is spoiled by none other than Sensei himself early. What if I just delete it? What?
신부님은 언제나
The priest
우리를 대신해
gladly
모든
ate the
죄를
sins of
기꺼이
in our stead. We should probably check what's behind this door, right?
나리,
I shall take that vanguard, Manager Esquire. Whoa. Villains!
확실한 건 우리가 문을 열어주지
What I'm
못할
certain
때
of
결코
is that this
들어가지
intruder
않을
will
거라고.
never leave us alone until we open our gates.
이제 슬슬 결판을
We must
내셔야
put
할
an
시간
end to
아닙니까?
this insolency soon, wouldn't you agree?
너도 얼른 물
I
만들어야
suppose you
난
will
이야기지.
understand me when you create your own.
안 그래도
Worry not,
오늘이야말로
I intend to
끝내려고
put
했다.
an end of this today. I have been planning to do so for a while. When in winter we saw a dying blood fiend nearing his death. His mask was already cloven in half, revealing the pitiful tragedy behind. It no longer served as a mask to hide his face.
당신들도 죄를
Oh, he probably fought the other people that came into this area. Have you come here to confess your sins? What a joy. Rarely do I receive those who are so willing to confess. Here's one. He's only a smoldering stub.
남지 않은 꽁초군. 지그시 밟아버리기만 해도 잠불이.
I could snuff out his embers with a gentle stomp. Yeah, we're just gonna get the leftovers. That's not fun. Let me see. You guys were talking about something. Uh, How much blood can a human safely lose before it becomes
세상의
dangerous?
아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가?
Google,
있어도 전혀
help
상관없다네.
me.
지금 우리가 보는
Well, wait, I
빛이가
didn't read it right. I'll not keep up with the joke of me wanting to give the priest my blood because I like him. Like a liter and a half? I don't know. Are you going to shard for the Honglu ID? Very interesting question, Borbed. Let me respond you. No, I will not chart for the Honglu ID because I got this morning. Yeah, so this stream is actually cutting too because I had a problem with OBS. But in the other stream, the first thing that I did was pull for Honglu. So I got Honglu on 30 pulls. And then I pulled the Heisho pack with 10 pulls. And I got this. Not Heisho Rhodia, but still Big Booby Mama Rhodia. So in 40 pulls, I also got this. Fell Wallet, the Ego, not the ID. So in 40 pulls, I got one Ego and two good IDs. But I'm not gonna be using the Honglu anytime soon. It's just gonna be there to be there. In which the truth that may be revealed by close inspection is spoiled by none other than Sansam himself. Damn, hate spoilers. So the sea branch buddies in these nice. After 40 pulls,
건드리지 마.
Mori ripped.
저건 내
I'm sorry, Mori. Then my leg got lobotomized by Malfalst. I mean, at least you got Malfalst. It could be worse. Unless you already have had her. I still wonder why there's two there free shoots. Did he mitosis? I wonder. Honestly, if you get more Heishos, you should just make a rupture team. Yeah. Whenever I do the other Heishos, sure. Merm, same, let's go. Don't touch it. That thing is mine. Chichen and her men approached us. Her men. It's almost like she's betrothed. Appearing to be in the pristine condition compared to the priest.
시춘,
Chichen,
입도 열지 마.
shut up. I don't want to waste any more time talking to you. Sansom can keep the spoilers to himself. He's the worst. I mean, I hate spoilers. Not as much as my viewers seem to love them sometimes. But yeah, I don't have any other hate show besides that one, Honglu. This one is almost dead. What's the point of keeping him alive?
뻔하군.
Isn't it obvious? These are the signs of torture.
이 구역의 장치는
It seems that the device in Area 2 has already been activated, so what are you torturing him for? Prying for more information? Yes. Haven't I told you already? My goal isn't to the eradication of Lamanchaland.
그렇다고
Okay, but I doubt you came all the way here just to enjoy torturing some blood fiend.
그래.
You're right.
우리가
We're not those
혈액의
blood fiend
사냥꾼도
hunters.
아니고
We don't
그런
torture
걸
them for
즐기진
sport.
않지. 거긴 돈벌이하고는
The
상관없이
hunters exist only to inflict as much pain as possible against as many blood fiends they can get their hands on, you know? They don't even care about the money. But I don't care about either of those. Well, yeah, her family is rich. What I'm looking for is a specific piece of information I came all the way here for. One thing that I've learned reading a lot of mirroring manhwa. There is nothing more precious in the world than information. Money? Nah. Information is where it's at. I wanted to know what specific piece of information she was talking about, but I was pretty positive that she wasn't going to answer that question anyway. Well, you arrived just in time. I was just about to crush its skull and brain within it anyways. No amount of pain could make it, could wake it from whatever this day's state is in. It's in, as you can see. It must have been long driven mad from pain. It reminds you of the Heisho of our family, huh? Big brother. Talking about the Heisho. Ji-chun asked as she gestured towards the priest, who was splayed out helplessly on the ground. Her voice was dripping with contempt. Despite her viciously threatening words, the look on the priest's face was serene. He looked at us with eyes that couldn't be more at peace. Seeing you and your friends reminds me of one of the visitors one of the visitors to my confessional. I don't quite recall when it was, but a blood fiend by the name of Lorenzo became a repeat visitor to the confessional. At first, I wasn't sure why he would feel the need to visit me. He simply exuded positivity that much. Oh, dear priest. I'm doing great today. Those handlebars really are some impressive inventions. Oh, I gobbled up 110 handlebars today, in one sitting. This has to be some record, right? Tragically, Lorenzo's positivity did not last. Today, I licked the syringe for 3 hours. There was a drop of blood on that thing, and I can't forget the blissful taste lingering on the needle. I didn't eat a single ammo bar today. We've known for a while now that these stupid bricks don't do anything. They do jack shit for us. And you know that. How much longer are we? How are we going to have to live like this? I knew the answer of his question, so I gave it to him. You know this already, Lorenzo. From endless forbearance comes coexistence. So sing and cheer louder. The more pain you feel, bury it. Suppress it with laughter. Let laughter never end here. Elemental-end. However, the last time I saw a true, genuine smile on Lorenzo's face, Was it moments before he was buried under this place? His head burst open, his brain spilling. It made me curious. What is the meaning of burying someone who lives still? You and I would never know the answer to that question, would we? Did you bury the body of Cassetti yourself as well, huh? That fugitive? Hand me! Don Quixote! Yeah, that's enough of this nonsense. Get out of my way. Jia swung her fan towards the blood fiend, but he was nowhere to be seen. Oh. Wei stepped in the last second to block the blood fiend's strike from behind. The priest has had the most profound faith of them all. When did the magician? The faith that everything will be alright. The faith that everything shall be as he willed. The faith that we shall all find happiness at the end of all things. And he was the only one of us who did not turn his back to our suffering. So, when more and more of us began losing grip of our patience, he was the first to reach out to them, gave them a helping hand. Aw, the priest was such a nice guy. Yet, the one who cares for the hearts of others cannot help but fail to tend to his own. Alone in the corner of this tiny room, the priest's heart ailed and withered. How many of us knew this, I wonder? Hey, I'm really happy for you that you've mastered your art of butting naturally into conversations like this. But you're surely mistaken if you think you can just pluck your friends away again. Got that? Let us be precise, huh? I'm here only to continue the tale. Villain, hast thou come here to distract us once again with thy vile tricks? No, no. Of course not. My vile tricks are all for you and none other. Only for you. What? Well, that's enough misery for a tale, huh? You have so many more riveting tales of adventurers to share, don't you? Oh, Don Quixote, the great adventurer. Many of great adventure have I undertaken, yet I have no tale to tell for one so vile as thee. I should have been more mindful. I suppose stepping onto the stage all on your lonesome must be a tad embarrassing, huh? That is not what I fully understand. It is no easy task to command the entire audience alone on the stage. Allow me to offer you some assistance. Halt! Halt! Rocinante! I don't want to leave. I don't! I do refuse to obey me! Stop! That was... what was that? It must have slipped. Please, it has been a while since my last show. Slipped. Sometimes the order of things go out of the whack when the play reaches its crescendo and the swelling emotions sweep off of your feet. I offer my sincere apologies. Let us begin anew. From the day of that fateful duel against the Knight of the White Moon. Oh, they're Frisians, welcome! That duel was one of the greatest battles I have ever had the honor of partaking in. Don Quixote's voice falters once again, falling unnaturally quiet. Sanson must be working his trickery again. Indeed, the duel was the first meeting of Don Quixote and the Knight of the White Moon. The same knight who guided our Don Quixote, the adventurer, to the river in the deep, to the river of oblivion. River in the deep. Manager, I think I know what's going on.
알것 같아요. 저 사람은
That
우선
man
대역에
is-
집중하시죠.
Now. Let's focus on our roles for now, shall we?
보아하니
Let's see here.
처음으로 만난
The
대등한
knight was
상대였군요.
the first one
당신
ever to match your strength, correct?
맞소. 그 전엔
Barely. The knight was
정말 강했지.
one of truly impressive might.
젠장.
Not again. This is getting real annoying.
하얀 달의 기사는
The Knight of the White Moon was garbed in the rags of an outfit that appeared rather unfamiliar and ridiculous.
또한
'Twas
본인에게
the
먼저
knight who
결투를
challenged
신청한
me
건
first as
그
well.
기사였다니.
Forsooth, I was quite impressed by the daring courage.
아마 도시를
Perchance,
떠돌며 명성을
the
떨치고
knight was
있었던
curious to test my
본인의
might,
실력이 궁금했으리라
as
생각해.
my name was known far and wide in all corners of the city through mine adventures. A great adventurer like you would have accepted a duel with gusto, certainly.
당연한 말을
Indubitably,
본인은
I
흔쾌히
replied
외쳤다네.
thusly. A true adventurer cowers not from a duel once a challenge. Let us battle, O brave knight! Thus began the storm of blades, as your lance clashed with the knights of the White Moon's greatsword. Yet, with every duel, no matter how great or trivial come certain stakes, the historical duel must have been no different. I care not whether I am to emerge emerge the victor or the loser of this battle. Yet, oh Don Quixote, should I meet my challenge in a fair duel, I promise thee that in thy hands I shall present what thou seekest most. Boldly and fiercely, the combatants clashed once again, and Rocinante signaled the start of this duel. Where's Gregor? Because if anyone was watching, it would be Rocinante. Ready? Go!
우리는 사흘
For
밤낮
3 suns and 3 moons, we tested the might of our blades. Hold on, weren't you holding a lance, not a bladed sword?
말이 그렇다는 것이지.
'Twas but a figure of speech. I love Gregor Rocinante. Okay, let me read the chat. The chat's going crazy. It's hard for me to read everything. Third time, Simpson, hi, good morning, how did I miss? Oh, hello there, free shoots. Didn't miss much. I got the Honglu ID. When my name is Simpson, and I have to make Canto 7 20 times longer than needed because I'm bored. Indeed, Sparta, indeed. You missed your 7 bullet free shoots. Sparta, or I did? Damn it! Gregor forgetting he's the outcast after all. Infinity is an interesting concept. I would appreciate that, but because Dwarves getting bungy around. Awesome. I think I was able to kind of catch up. But yeah, so let me showcase my gains. This stream is actually cut in half because I actually had a hiccup with my OBS. But I pulled for the ID earlier today. And we got the Lord of Onion, Hongler, the guy. And we also got this because that's what whenever I asked the game to give me a Hey show, they gave me the Princess of La Mancha Land instead. And I got this as well. Yay! Bell Bullet! Not the ID, but at least the ego. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing? Thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to shard him, as I seem a lot of people are gonna do the same. Friendly fire, indeed. The good Bell Bullet. The greatest. The fellest of bullets. You know what? It's almost 11, so you must upgrade it. Honglu's ID is demolishingly strong, even without other Heishos. So you must, yes, I will upgrade it just because it seems like a good one. It's poise. Poise is nice by itself. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get the other Heishos as well. Honestly, the house on paired. Like I do plan on getting the Blood Fiends as well, so that's fun. Once the best when paired with a new Honglu ID is the Heisho since they get passives when Heisho die. Yes. Fell Bullet, the core ego for the ideal MD speedrunning strat. Doing great. Just finish up for 3 custom IDs. Feel proud of myself. You should. By the way, guys, Ryan here not only is a streamer, but he likes to make a custom IDs for other streamers as well. Poiture, poison and rupture. Poison rupture. Sorry, I said poison. Of course, the bullets are different. My brother and I are different abnormalities. 8 stages until death. Yes. But you know why I'm hanging here? Because we're not gonna do the stage right now. I said that I would take a break. I will eat and I will rest, and I have stuff to do later today. But I'll be back by nighttime, my time in nighttime, to continue and finish this canto. I know I'm not gonna be seeing a lot of you because a lot of you are from Asian countries, and a lot of you won't be awake whenever I start my next stream today. But the VOD is gonna be there, and you guys can continue on where you left off. I will try to actually do timestamps for this one stream here, because there was one point where me and Mori started to talk about Faust, and we stayed talking for 40 minutes of me just talking about Faust and not actually playing the game. Oh damn. Yeah, I'm sorry, they're free shoots. I know, but I'm gonna be, and you're probably gonna be still awake whenever I do my next stream. Unless you're doing something else, so it's all good. The VOD's gonna be there. If I have to bear the nighttime, then I shall. Aw, but don't push yourself. Southeast Asia time zone, indeed. Rupture deals damage on hit equals to the rupture potency, indeed. Indeed. Rupture is very good, especially against bosses. That one is, I know. Even though I am more prone to something like Tremor, I'm not a very big fan of Rupture. 4 minutes of yapping about False is truly a false moment. Right, we're just starting to theorize, and Mori knows a lot, so it was pretty fun. If you do finish it while we're not here, do tell us how peak was Canto 7. Of course. And again, the VOD is gonna be here, so you guys can just come back and see my honest, true to life experience while finishing it. Bleed goes bro in MDs against bosses with ton of coins. That's what I run. Oh, I forgot to redeem this. Actually, I didn't finish. Oh yeah. Let me just finish this mirror dungeon. My internet actually crashed yesterday. Literally by the end of the mirror dungeon. Oh no, they're gonna make me fight Time Reaper again. Okay guys, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna do this before I go. Shit! I'm gonna go with 6. Who needs 7? Whatever. Hey, are you planning to finish stream like now? I'm gonna finish this fight, and then I'll finish the stream. You guys are gonna see me fighting Time Reaper because my internet crashed yesterday. But I am sinking. As you guys can see, I am sinking. So this is gonna be funny. Time Reaper, hello, Quixels. Have fun, bye nerd. I mean, the Time Reaper, you're not gonna have any time, haha, to defeat me. There won't be chapter which recounts
내일
the
보아.
close and dramatic duel between the Knight of the White Moon and Valiant Don Quixote. No, later today.
이 풍진 세상에서
It's him.
힘껏
It's the
살아가는
time fraud. Get him.
수고하셨어요.
I trust you guys to do that for me.
오셨으니까 충전.
Don't need Yuri to when you were gonna right. I never stop it. Arcana beat. That haven't ever explained to him how Knight of Despair fall. Wait, Knight of Despair falls? Oh yeah, I'm just doing auto. I'm just doing auto. Like I am lazy right now. I've been p-entering the whole thing.
이 풍진 세상에서
But it's
힘껏
Knight of Despair
살아가는
Rhodia. But I get it. I get your point. Yeah, I just need to lower her.
오셨으니 그 끝에 고요한 휴식이 있기를.
Done. See, I know how to play.
나아가주게.
To my false talk. Indeed. She's gonna have to do it again. But this is a good one. False is indeed.
우와, 저건 어떻게 하는 걸까요? 역시 홍원 바깥은 신기한 것들로 가득 차 있네요.
Damn. Hopeless is never something that I want to read whenever I'm doing my things, you know? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Hongler.
만만찮겠군. 우리 하지. 정의 이름으로 이유.
There still should be a mirror world or false, whereas Night of Despair. Maybe. P-Moon games feel like an abusive relationship sometimes, it's very specifically lobotomycorp.
단테님은 매번 기발한 발상을 떠올리시네요.
Okay, now she's done.
비록 함께 전장에 나서는 건
Now I feel
아니지만
like she's very well depressed.
건 단테님만 할 수 있는 일이에요. 이번에도 분명 원하시는 길로 저희
I said stupid, not difficult. Getting the star of the city for the first time in Ruina was straight up abuse. One day I'm gonna go through that, and I will probably complain. Don't stagger her. Shit.
차라리 아무것도 남지 마라.
단테님
I don't know about abusive. I have L Corp 100% clear. Look at Mori. Is this MD? Yeah, this is the final part of my MD. But it is. Hello, Cindy. Yeah, we're just p-entering my buddy here. That is slowly sinking.
준비되셨나요, 단테님? 곧 무시무시한 공격이 저희에게 쏟아질 거예요.
Sure. Whatever. I believe in myself.
정확하게 이유. 사랑으로 정의 이름으로 이유. 이 정도쯤.
편히 쉬시게.
나는
This Mirsha exploded right there.
아, 여기선 이런 공격이 잘
I feel like my darling dear just exploded. I'm fine. No encounter with Carmen. Don't just explode. It happens. You know, her Canto's happening right now. She's getting PTSD. It's understandable. It is time. It is. Yes, Time Ripper by all means is British.
들어본 적 있는가?
Yay! That was a great.
지금 우리가 보는 경치가
Mirror Dungeon, guys, wasn't it? You guys had a good time. I hope you guys get a good time. I do believe in yourself, Archer. Believe in me. Believe in Mori, who believes in you. Because Mori is the best. You have a point there, Mori. Hello, goodbye now. A sorrow in you. Wait, what? Give me. I need to get my achievements. I got some. There's some done. Yay, some. I'm gonna because I'm gonna come back later. I'm just gonna use all this. Yep. Bum, bum. And it's done. By the way, guys, I accept friend requests. So if anybody wants to be my friend, this is my ID. You can actually find my IDs over on the Discord. We have a whole section dedicated for Limbus Company there with all of our IDs. So by all means, just add me. Let's be friends. Let's share some characters if you need. Some of us there have every single ID in the game, like Sin Systems. So, by all means, it's a good time. But yes, without further ado, it's a big pleasure for every single new follower. Yes, that's my ID. Thank you so much, Maury. But yeah, thank you so much for every single one of my new followers. I hope I can see you guys more. I play Limbus Company. I will play later today, but I play every Saturday. Tomorrow I will play Libraryofruina. So for those that might not catch right now, tomorrow I'll be on the same time playing some Arena. I'm still going through the story, so don't spoil me there as well. And the rest of the week, whenever we stream, I play other gacha games. There are just as good like Limbus Company. But yeah, without further ado, I wish you all a great weekend. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I see you all in the next one. Archer is out. Bye bye, guys.